All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Pump Review. Yesterday was our rest day, and before that, it was day, what was it, 16 already? So I think today's day 17 of Pump Review. But I hit a very simple, let me zoom in a bit more. I hit a very simple, just arm day, like bi, tri, and forearms, I guess. And then I did some side raises as well, but that was the only like delt exercise I did, cause I'm gonna save like pressing movements for tomorrow with chest, and then rear delts I'm gonna hit back tomorrow. So it's a nice little split, allows me to really section it into like focus on one point, which would be my arm size. The next day is just more thickness on like chest and back, and then we have a leg day after that. Wash, rinse, repeat, or whatever they say the process is. But let's get right into what we did today. I started off with biceps per usual, and I just went into I started with dumbbells first, just to get blood flow in the arms, because that's how you want to do it. You never want to go really straight into anything too heavy. And of course, like since I warmed up with 25s, I went into preacher curl. Then I did one set with a 45. Then my second set was a 45 and a 25. So I've kind of been trying to work up to be able to rep out 100. So obviously I warm up with 45. The next jump I made was to 70 pounds, and usually I go straight to 90 pounds, but I wanted to really make sure my biceps would be good to like get as many reps as possible, so I didn't want to exhaust myself on the second set. So that's how I would like stage my workout. That's how you should stage your workout, is like you really do want to pick certain muscle groups. Like, no, I'm going to use almost all my energy for like this muscle group specifically, or this set specifically. Like, you want intensity throughout your whole exercise, but of course you don't just want to be going 110% on everything, because you won't be able to do that. Like, you will get pre-exhausted at some point. So I really like to throw like weak points or stuff that needs work in the beginning. So I started with preacher curl just to work on getting that peak bigger, and I actually did hit 100 pounds for it was like 10 reps in the last, I hit 11 reps technically. The last, like the 11th rep was like a partial, but I hit 10 reps, and the like last 2 reps were kind of dirty. You could argue that my range of motion wasn't complete, but I have been on this bulk, and I definitely did feel a lot stronger today, and the pump definitely did look super good earlier, even if it's fading away now. But all right guys, so continuing where we left off from, yeah, I started with my biceps first. I did preacher curl. I did some face weight curls like I've been doing with my shoulder behind my back, kind of like this. And then I did some, that was basically all I did for bicep. I did some concentration curls as well. And that's kind of like a exercise no one really does, but specifically when you're on the cable, if you're curling like inwards like this instead of like this or like this, right, like behind your back or in front of you, if you're kind of curling it in, it hits a different part of your bicep. I know it has to do with like how your wrist is facing and kind of like the angle that your arm is in, but personally it feels like one of those arm blaster exercises to me, because I really just feel it like all in my bicep when I do these like facing inward cables. Usually I don't do those like super heavy, it's more of like a burnout thing, but of course like I believe in doing different variations of exercises to get different stimulus in your muscle. So like I feel like it's not what primarily grows my bicep, but it is like something that can give it a nice pump. So I do like pump work a lot too, on top of like strength training and whatnot. But for my triceps, I started with the cable behind the head, single hand, and I just alternated obviously. Then I went into a regular like tricep press down, and those I just did like strict form, always having your arms like squeezed into your side. As you can see, like this is me squeezing my arm in right now. It just makes my arm look so much bigger than it is. So like staying squeezed in has its benefits, because I'm not gonna say it shapes your muscle, but it really helps you feel the contraction a lot more when they're also like pressed together, if that makes any sense. But then after that, I just went into some dumbbell overhead, just stuck with 50 pounds, didn't go too heavy. Again, like I feel like if you do 2 variations for the same muscle group, like your intensity doesn't have to be as high on both of them, because you are like directly isolating one muscle and hitting it in 2 different ways. So as long as like you do have that one heavy set, but then for the rest of them you do like, you know, a medium intensity or slightly heavier intensity, but with good form and good contraction and good muscle connection, I feel like it's still as valid as a set versus like, oh, taking everything to failure and just going as heavy as you can. But for my forearms, I just did some regular hammer curls. Again, kind of lightweight. My forearms, it's like I don't really train them that hard because I am always using them. Like, I don't know if that really makes sense, but my forearms are like one of those muscle groups that I can do one set and I'll already feel it like cramping, you know, if I try to do any more volume for it. But they still do have like their definition and size and shreds. So I don't ever go like too crazy on the forearms. I more just focus on the bicep, triceps on my arm day. But let's see how this pump is looking. I'm excited to hit chest tomorrow. Today I'm in a little bit of predicament because I have work and I don't really know where I'm gonna get my macros from today. Obviously I'm gonna have to buy food, but I just don't know, like, even if buying food right now, if that'll be enough for the day on top of mass gainer. Maybe I'll drink more mass gainer today. I might end up doing that, like drinking it when I get home, then taking a shake to work. Just because today it's one of those days where it's like, look, there's other stuff going on, but I can't afford to miss my macros when I'm making like this much good progress, you know. Need to keep getting bigger and just keep rolling. But that's something that you guys don't have to worry about. That's something that I'm gonna figure out later. Right now, let's just see how good this pump came out.